from the 3D model. The efficiencies that we gained and the error reduction that we gained has been fully vetted out. We benefited from those, but at the time, we never issued the 3D model to the construction resources. We created the 2D drawings from the 3D model. The 3D model was not consistently issued to construction. Only in specific instances was a 3D model, and we called it a 3D PDF, which was easier to open up via email, was shared for design clarity. This was done in some cases, but not all cases. Now we are well prepared to create these 3D models. As you know, for the IDC process, one of the requirements is to start developing the 3D model during the scoping process and continue that same model all the way through detailed design and completion of the issue for construction package. IDC is going to require us to move some of the engineering design tasks earlier in the project process, and standards will allow quicker development of these models. So again, like we were saying about our budget, we've got a lot of projects to do. So moving this work from detailed engineering design upfront into scoping is going to greatly benefit us to be able to hit the road a little bit quicker with more of our standards to be able to pull those in and create the 3D model earlier.
Thanks for joining us today, Ron. Appreciate your time. Appreciate your insights and perspective. Thanks.
As Ron stated, standards are so important to an efficient design process to experience efficiencies and cost savings. Getting the model in the hands of the construction resources is also a tremendous benefit of the BIM process. Previously, those types of models were not available to our field crews, and that's essentially where they're needed the most. So stay tuned for more of these kind of IDC projects from AEP. Well, the industry expert interviews are not over yet. I spoke with Steve Hudson at Dominion Energy. If some of you are thinking about making this change, I think you'll enjoy hearing what Steve has to say. So now we're with Steve Hudson from Dominion Energy, and Dominion Energy has just undergone the beginnings of an implementation for an intelligent substation design. So, Steve, would you introduce yourself?
Absolutely, and thank you, Arnold. My name is Steve Hudson. I work for Dominion Energy in our Richmond, Virginia offices. Currently, I'm a little bit north of that, thanks to work from home safety protocols that have been in place now for 13 months or so. I'm a project manager in the substation department, so it's for transmission and distribution level projects across our company's footprint from Virginia to North Carolina. And that's where I currently am.
Great. Well, welcome, Steve. Thanks for joining us.
Sure, my pleasure.
So can you tell me a little bit about, with your intelligent design implementation you're currently working, what were some of the benefits that you're looking to achieve with that implementation?
So, that's an easy and tough question at the same time, right? Because there's so many. So really, when I think about answering that honestly for you, I have to be selective and really pick some of the heavy hitters. And one of the first, maybe not the biggest, but one of the first is talent acquisition. So shifting to BIM in general for the industry, it's important and it's necessary, for this multitude of reasons, but talent acquisition has got to be a justification for it because of the generation that's coming into engineering, well, really, and has been coming into engineering for the past 10 or 15 years. They've grown up with an evolution in technology that we've never seen before. Right. And so if we're not providing the tools and the challenges technically, either with 3D design or visualization or modeling or data management systems that, replicate a lot of what they're used to in their digital space, personally on their personal lives, right, then it's just not very appealing to the younger and newer market of engineers and designers.
So most definitely the recruiting aspect of bringing, well, not only, external resources that are in talent, into your team, but also, internal, those kind of looking
Yeah.
to use some of the latest technologies.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's face it, I can't remember who said it, but it's evolve or die, right? So
Right.
if you're not evolving, and like you said, forget the external candidates for a minute, but internally, if you're not evolving and you're not providing these new opportunities for the current staff to take their workshop, their CAD and engineering design workshop, and say, this wooden hammer has been great for centuries. I'm glad I learned on it. I'm going to switch to steel, and I'm going to help my organization do that. And I'm going to help with the training, and I'm going to help build this new thing that's going to have a far bigger footprint than I would have had in my normal position, just going along with my normal tooling. So yeah, I think you're right, and I think it's another enticement to stay for the folks that are there, and to just be a little bit more excited about work, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and seeing that excitement about your work, I mean, obviously that makes you happy. And the happier that you're doing those kinds of jobs, the more satisfied you are, and the better work can be accomplished.
Yeah.
So with that, I mean, what if you were to share one thing with the audience on, what would it be, the most important thing and reason to shift to a BIM workflow?
Sure. So I think, not to. This feels like low-hanging fruit, but I don't think it can be underutilized now. If you look at what we've seen during the pandemic, can you imagine going back to March of 2020 and the internet being new, and we didn't have a robust system in place? We didn't have all of the security protocols already established. We didn't have computers at home. So imagine a pandemic-like situation in the energy industry, which, if you can imagine, we've been progressing, over the last 20 years at a rate that I don't think anyone would have predicted. You look at Texas and how much of their energy is renewable now. Go back 30 years, and I think that would have been a joke. People would have laughed at any measurable percentage. So the point is, we have to be technologically relevant today to be ready for whatever we're going to face in the future. And for us, we don't know what that is. We think we do, and we know there's a lot of renewables, but how do we know there's not going to be small modular reactor projects that are popping up in neighborhoods? And now design organizations who are used to designing substations are now designing microgrids and small generating facilities, because that's where the industry is moving. And I'm not saying that's where it's moving. I'm just, as an example,
Sure.
If we're not caught up to today, it's going to be very, very hard to make it through tomorrow. And our industry, again, it's evolving so quickly and in so many different directions. We need to catch up to where the rest of the CAD and design industries are, so that we're ready to pivot and that we're flexible and adaptable.
Right. Absolutely. The building blocks that we're putting into a BIM process are exactly what you need to make you successful in those kinds of situations. So, yeah, very, very important and very good points.
Thank you.
Steve, thank you very much. We appreciate you taking the time to share with us some of your experiences there, and best of luck with the rest of your implementation of a BIM solution there at Dominion.
Thank you, Arnold. It's been my pleasure. And for anyone out there that's really looking to get into BIM at in their utility, it's been the most exciting thing I've done at Dominion Energy. It's new, it's challenging, but it really is a perfect blend of art and science. And I encourage everyone to keep pursuing. And good luck. And you can always reach out to all of us when you need help or you just have questions.
Great.
Thank you, Arnold.
Thank you. Did some of you realize that BIM could help with recruiting efforts? Many companies didn't always consider the benefits like employee retention and talent acquisition. Now, last but certainly not least, I'd like to share a quick interview we had with Audrey Marriage. Several folks have mentioned the consortium, or SDSIC, during their interviews. If you're new to the BIM world and you don't know what SDSIC is, it's the Substation Design Solution Industry Consortium. which is really a long name for a support team. Hopefully from these interviews, you can tell that we are a community. Now, I don't want to steal Audrey's thunder, so take a look at her interview.
Hi, Audrey. It's good talking with you again. It's been a while since we've talked. I think the last time I saw you was in New York, maybe at that consortium. So it's been quite a while, quite a lot going on in the world.
Yes.
So it's good to talk with you again.
It's nice seeing you again.
I was thinking the other day how it's been about 7 or 8 years now where we started the SDSIC. We were in Nashville, and it was a few utilities got together, and there was maybe 40 folks that were part of it that time. And I was involved with setting up all of the bylaws and setting up all of the organizational structure of it. It has evolved quite a bit since that time. Can you talk a little bit about the growth that you've seen in the SDSIC?
I can. I am so excited about the growth that we've seen. In 2019, we had a meeting in New York, which, like you said, it was the last time that I had seen you. And at that time, we were at 700 members, and we were really proud of that. We were so excited. And in 2 short years, now we just had our last virtual meeting, and we are up to 1,144 members. I think It's astounding.
Wow, that's quite a bit of a change from just 7 or 8 years ago, for sure.
Yes.
In seeing all of the different entities that's involved now, because when we first started, it was set up primarily just for utilities, but now we have a whole group of folks, from engineering firms to utilities to lots of different vendors that are involved with the consortium. What are you seeing as far as the value now that it's grown to this size that an organization like the SDSIC provides for an industry?
One thing that I've really noticed is the resources available to me and to all of our members. If I have problems with a certain program that we're using, like I can call my IT desk, and they're great people, but they install the product on my machine. They don't work with it. They don't use it like I do. So there's times that I just need someone to talk to, like, what do you do with this? Or why is this happening? And I can make a phone call, I can email, and usually within an hour, I'm up and running and we're on our way again, because they all understand the tools and they're willing to share. The sharing is my favorite part of this organization, whether it's a utility, a contractor, design firm, one of the software developers. Everyone is willing to share. There's no hidden agenda. There's no keeping information for yourself. Everyone is just really in that sharing mode, very collaborative.
I think that's what makes the SDSIC so valuable, is because of the openness that everyone has, and nobody has that sort of trying to corner their little section of the market. It's all for information sharing. So I agree with that. That's a tremendous thing for an organization to have. So I appreciate your time, and thank you for meeting today.
Sure.
Audrey is correct. This is a very exciting time in the BIM world for the growth of the support organization. We are able to share so much information openly. We're trying as a community to make the whole experience even better. So as you can tell, BIM is not just about design. BIM is about the ecosystem. Other industries have been using a BIM solution for a number of years, like the Internet of Things, getting information, data from the substation assets into the hands of those who need it, machine learning, virtual reality, augmented reality. All of this starts with building information modeling philosophy. So that is BIM. So thank you for your time, and we're ready to take some questions from the audience.
Thanks, Arnold. and team. So a few of our audience members have already submitted questions, so we'll go ahead and jump right in. And for our audience, if you'd like to submit a question, go ahead and type the question into the question window on the side of your screen and hit the submit button. So give me one moment to open up that screen here. The first question that we have today is from Nelson at Eversource. And he's asking, how did we get upper management to agree, provide a dedicated group, hours, and budget for SDS? The only avenue we've been given is just to fit it in between your everyday work, and this approach has not been successful. I'm not sure which one of our presenters wants to take a stab at that.
Hi, this is Don Sanders. I can give you my perspective. Can you guys hear me?
I can. Thank you, Don.
Hey, so the question was,